Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, my brother, the Honorable Duale, the Cabinet Secretary for Health, distinguished guests, diplomats, friends, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, we are greatly honored by your gracious presence at the 19th edition of the Kenya Ambassadors Conference. Today is a Saturday. We have pulled you away from the field. So bear with us. For decades, we have maintained this noble tradition of convening core actors in our foreign policy formulation and implementation to reflect on our achievements, deliberate on the challenges that we face in the execution of our mandate, and most importantly, develop forward-looking and sustainable solutions that advance Kenya's national interests. The conference presents an annual opportunity for our envoys to engage at high level, including the appointing authority, His Excellency the President, our nation's chief diplomat, and to interact with leadership across all arms of government. Therefore, as the representatives of our President abroad, you will receive briefs and updates on key developments in the country. Furthermore, I encourage you to share your experiences with one another in the spirit of collegiality and the collective good of our country. Notably, the conference takes place at the time of remarkable foreign policy achievements under the administration of His Excellency President William Ruto. Kenya has elevated its role in regional and global peace and security, enhanced participation in multilateral fora, advanced its niche diplomacy in climate change action, and diversified bilateral partnerships that continue to unlock development opportunities for our country. Your Excellency, through our foreign policy, we continue to advance your administration's plan by negotiating and concluding bilateral agreements that support the following pillars of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. First, the agricultural transformation. The Kenya-China Early Harvest Agreement, concluded in March 2026, grants duty-free, quota-free access for 98% of Kenyan agricultural products into the Chinese market. The Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, CEPA, removes tariffs on over 80% of goods, boosting trade in key agricultural exports such as tea and meat. Additional frameworks include the Kenya-EU Economic Partnership Agreement, the Kenya-Hungary Agriculture MOU, the Kenya-UK Partnership Agreement, and Kenya's engagement with the US under the African Growth Opportunity Act. On healthcare, the 2025 five-year Kenya-US Health Cooperation Framework marks a significant shift to direct government-to-government funding, strengthening programs on universal healthcare, UHC, malaria, TB, and HIV/AIDS. And today, I think in one of the main media outlets, Duale has put up a very spirited message on this particular issue. Several of these agreements are also broad in scope and contribute directly or indirectly to other better pillars, including housing and settlement, the micro, small, and medium enterprises, economy, and the digital superhighway and creative economy. Other notable agreements include Kenya-Mozambique in March 2026, which enhances digital transformation and expands opportunities for small-scale traders. The Italy partnership, which supports youth empowerment and the creative economy in 2026. The Kenya-Ethiopia agreement, which promotes cross-border trade and growth of micro, small, and medium enterprises. We also have the Kenya-Senegal program in 2025 October, which advances youth and sports development, among others. Your Excellency, this is a brief overview of the Ministry's contributions to your economic transformation plan, delivered not in isolation, but with the whole of government framework. As a ministry, we have made tremendous progress since the inauguration of your administration, the launch of the Kenya Foreign Policy and the Sessional Paper number 1 of 2025 presents renewed clarity in our external engagements. We have followed this milestone by adopting open diplomacy, including rolling out the Foreign Policy Mashinani initiative. This is an appreciation that Kenyan citizens, too, have a stake in advancing our foreign policy objectives. It also serves as a strategic platform to communicate our activities and achievements and mitigate against misinformation and disinformation. Your Excellency, we wanted to make sure that Kenyans are not foreign to their own foreign policy. We also have expanded our diplomatic footprint in 72 missions in strategic countries and regions. In doing so, we have ensured a more cost-effective, impactful, and strategic deployment of the limited resources at our disposal, including multiple accreditations and deployment of honorary councils. Your Excellency, your foresight in establishing for the first time in Kenya's diplomatic history a State Department for Diaspora Affairs was a transformative decision. Presently, Kenyan diaspora is at the center of government policies. Today, the safety, dignity, and welfare of our diaspora is more adequately and effectively safeguarded, despite increased cases of Kenyans in distress abroad due to the growing global turbulence. In addition to the 24-hour diaspora call center, our missions continue to provide consular services through the innovative mobile system. Your Excellency, through your support and strategic guidance, diaspora investments and remittances have vastly increased, making our diaspora a major contributor to national progress. The Diaspora Investment Support Office and the Diaspora Investment Strategy, launched in 2025, aim to enable the channeling of these remittances from predominantly household consumption to actual investments. We shall count on our ambassadors to continue engaging the diaspora on investment opportunities available back home. Finally, in today's evolving global landscape, the continent is in need of a leading voice for African agency. As our envoys, you are called to shape the direction and future of African diplomacy. We must amplify that our president is the champion of the African Union institutional reform and chair of COMESA. We must also highlight Kenya's leadership in promoting the intra-African trade and the African Continental Free Trade Area. This conference should inspire our individual and collective commitment to safeguarding our national interests and advancing Kenya's national agenda for a peace-centered prosperity. Our supreme enterprise is to enhance the brand Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, I have already indicated that we have pulled His Excellency away from a very busy schedule So I come to the end of my remarks.